Before I get started with this story, let me give a shout out to Jamal Ross for sending it to me. And let me just say right now, this person's whole face looks like a shovel. God damn, they look like a shovel. They look like they got hit by a shovel too, but they look like a shovel. But anyway, this person's name is Jan Myers. She looks like she could be related to Michael Myers. And basically, this person has been charged with a hate crime against their Asian neighbors. And they were also accused for coming back for more. That's what the title suggests. So basically, they were coming back to create more havoc against their Asian neighbors, who I believe are Vietnamese. But we'll find out for sure as I go through this article. In 2017, The Pham, a 33-year-old Vietnamese woman, moved to Shoreline, Washington to live with her husband, William Healy. To hear the couple tell it, virtually from the moment Pham arrived, she was under verbal attack from a racist next-door neighbor, Jan Myers. According to Healy and Pham, Myers, age 72, began unleashing slurs, calling her Miss Vietnam and Miss Saigon, and alleging that she was a mail-order bride. Myers, meanwhile, said she really only had a problem with Pham and Healy's cat, which she said kept shitting on her lawn, and that the family was secretly taking pictures and videos of her to send to the Ripley's Believe It or Not Museum, I'm assuming. At least one video shared with the Daily Beast captured Myers walking around naked, from the waist down on her front porch in view of Pham's 2-year-old son. That's who wants to wake up and see that? This April, the years-long saga finally bubbled to the surface after Pham called police alleging Myers threatened her while she was gardening in her front yard, according to a King County Sheriff's Office police report obtained by the Daily Beast. Despite steadfast denials that she made racist comments or issued threats, Myers was arrested and charged with a felony hate crime. As part of the charge, she was ordered to stay away from Pham and her family and refrain from harassing her, according to the King County Sheriff's Office. But now the couple have filed a lawsuit alleging she violated that order, and their attorney, Jeffrey Campeach, told the Daily Beast that Myers has continued to harass and stalk the family since her arrest. In other words, the family says the cops getting involved wasn't enough to stop a racist campaign of fear. The saga first became a criminal matter on April 5th, according to the police report and videos Pham took with her phone, when Myers sat in her car and leered at Pham and moving the car back and forth on the road. At one point, Myers is seen rolling down her window and yelling, "Come out, you slant eye." She then tells Pham, "I called the cops on you, you little slant eye." Myers later returns to her own driveway before eking back onto the road. She rolls down the window and yells, "You're not going to live very long," before driving away. Myers did not respond to a request for comment for this story. When reached for comment, James Johansson, an attorney representing Myers in her criminal case, says she has been following all court orders and has left Pham and her family alone despite the recent allegations. If that were true, he said of the latest claims, my client would be arrested and charged with numerous violations of a no-contact order or an anti-harassment order, which hasn't happened. So basically what they're going off of, she's like, oh, so I can't get in your face and harass you, but I can do it from a distance when I'm driving this car back and forth. That's still harassment. Johansson also pushed back on the suggestion that Myers has any particular animus against Asians or minorities, but she called her slant eye multiple times. We know who that's used against. He said that other neighbors have complained about her conduct in the past and they were white. They also were treated poorly, alleging by my client, he said, she appears to not favor anybody. So they're going to use that excuse, which is almost the equivalent of saying I can't be racist because I have a black friend or a black spouse or my kids are biracial. She probably has some issues with everybody, not just minorities. According to the police report from the initial April incident, Myers says she told Pham to move out the way because she didn't want her to get hurt while she was pulling into her driveway. She doesn't even speak English, so she probably doesn't know what I said, Myers told police. According to the report, she then alleged that Healy had just bought Pham like a month ago. He just went over to Vietnam and bought her, she said, according to the report. Cops didn't buy it, booking Myers and charging her with a hate crime. Nonetheless, the King County Sheriff's Office confirmed to the Daily Beast that on May 23rd, Myers appeared to violate the order barring her from contact with her neighbors. Tim Meyer Spokesman for the Kings County Sheriff's Office told the Daily Beast that deputies were called to a local park by Healy, alleging Myers followed him and his son there. In the lawsuit, Healy and Pham filed against Myers this week. They alleged Myers stalked Healy and his son, drove within 30 feet of them, parked and watched them, violating her court order to stay away from the family. Campeche went so far as to blame local authorities, including King County Sheriff's Office and the King County Prosecuting Attorney, for taking a laissez-faire attitude toward enforcing the order in Myers and Pham's case. We feel that Ms. Myers is empowered to continue to harass the Pham, her child, and her husband, he said at a Tuesday press conference. Although the King County Sheriff's Office did not initially recommend charges for the May 23rd incident at the park, the spokesperson Meyer told the Daily Beast that the case was reviewed again in June and charges were recommended. He defended the sheriff's office and said that all calls for service by Pham and her family have been responded to. If there are credible calls and credible allegations, we're going to respond to those, he said. Casey McNerthney, a spokesperson for the King County Prosecuting Attorney, said the May 23rd incident was referred to the Shoreline City Attorney's Office first because it was a misdemeanor involved Pham's family. He said that while an immediate protection order was issued for Pham and after Myers' criminal charge, a second order was requested by Pham's family and that the order was enforced by the Shoreline City. McNerthney added that because the May 23rd incident did not involve Pham, Myers was not in violation of the order his office enforces. Meyer, the sheriff's spokesman, disputed that the incident did not fall under the jurisdiction of the King County Prosecuting Attorney. If there's evidence that leads the Shoreline City office to file a charge for a violation of the separate no-contact order, of course our office will promptly bring that information to the attention of the judge in our felony case, McNerthney said. The Shoreline City Attorney's Office did not immediately respond to a request for comment. Meyer, the sheriff's spokesman, did not comment on the merits of the May 23rd incident, but he said that Myers' conduct seemed consistent with someone who has behavioral health issues. He pushed back on criticism by Pham's attorney about not taking the case seriously. I think our deputies are also sort of seeing this thing holistically, while also being mindful of the victim's perspective. Before her arrest on April 5th, police on scene reported that at least 5 neighbors had approached them to tell deputies something needed to be done about Myers. Nonetheless, Pham, in a teary press conference on Tuesday, told Fox 13 that she feels like she's trapped. I feel like my life is in danger every day I go outside. So that's the story right there. So they know that this woman is a menace. Even the neighbors that they have confirmed it, but they try to use the whole, oh, they're white, so this can't possibly be a racial thing. But look at what she called her. I'm almost certain that she didn't call her white neighbors, who she's apparently terrorized as well, slant eye. Like, we know who that is. I think the most disgusting and disturbing part about this was they saying that they saw her walking naked outside from the waist down. Like, nobody wants to see that. Look at her picture. Like, ew, that's disgusting. But she most definitely had some issues, for sure. Like, and you can tell she was acting like a grown child, like driving up and down the street just yelling taunts from the window and stuff like that because she couldn't get in their face. Like, that's very childish. Like, and they said she's 72. So you already know she was born around the time, Jim Crow and all types of stuff like that. I'm almost curious to want to know if she said this about her Vietnamese neighbor, what has she said about black people? Because usually when one hates one group that's not white, they usually don't like them all. I mean, they're being consistent. Now, granted, don't throw me in that POC category. As far as I'm concerned, they are on their own. All I can do is come on here and talk about this story. And it is a messed up story. Because who wants to live in a neighborhood where you know that this is constantly happening every single day, and this is your neighbor? Now, I'm not sure if this is a next door neighbor or what, but the way they're making it sounds like it's a next door neighbor. So, yeah. And then on top of that, they're trying to make it seem like it's not as bad as what the victim is trying to put it out there to be. Then she went on to say that she was purchased, like she was a mail order bride and all types of stuff like that. So I'm almost convinced that her husband is indeed a PC man. Because I'm looking at his name, it doesn't sound foreign. So, but yeah. But look at her face. This is why she's so miserable. Like, when I look at this picture, I almost don't even see a woman, to be quite honest. Like I said, she looks like a shovel and looks like she's been hit with one too. But y'all let me know what y'all think about this down in the comments.